What I've done is I use this cross weave reinforced fibre tape. I find it really useful when you're modelling, building, assembling, repairing. I haven't got much of it left, I just ordered 2 more reels. I've used it to hold these together. That's the servo lead from the rudder and the servo lead that's going to be going into the receiver or the reflex gyro. This then sort of shoehorns into there. Make sure I don't trap the cable, and it pushes down, and that's it. Wow, perfect fit. What a brilliant fit. Something I'm finding a little strange or unusual is this rudder. The hinge for the rudder only goes from there to there. It's an all foam hinge, so there's nothing here of course because this has to turn. But where it butts up against the end of the fuselage, it's ideally situated for a CA hinge or even a pin hinge. And they haven't done it, there's just nothing there. It just seems a bit strange. Now we taped over these holes. Before I can use them, I've just got to put a little slit there. I'll cut that down. Cut that down. Just put it across where the holes are for now. I've got to use these 40mm, 4 centimetre, one in each of these holes. Yeah, that's not going in anywhere. So we have to do a bit of manipulation. That's all it needed, just a tiny fraction of a change. Let's put this on. Goes in. Yeah, that's biting. Now they're long, but they don't screw in far. They've got a long way to travel. That's nice and tight. They don't have to bite in. There we go. And here it just goes, it bites. Yeah, that's fine. I don't want to do those any more than that. I'm going to use this fibre tape. I'm going to make a little area at the back, coming from the back here. Actually, no, I'm going to put it on the plastic piece, you know. I'll put it on the plastic piece because it's nice and flat where this is curved. Then I'm taking my light, happens to be green, that I'm using as my test light. I'll put this over there, like so, and this over there. So that'll be, obviously it'll be white, so that's where my tail light will go. Yeah, nice. This is going together rather well. Now I haven't quite covered that hole. I mean, it's covered enough so the screw wouldn't drop out if it ever came undone, which it won't. But I'll just put a tiny bit more tape over that. It makes me much happier. Right, well that's done. Let's see how easy it is to connect the elevator up. I am making the assumption that these are centred at this time, and I hope the heck I don't break this one on the arm. So I'm going from this hole to this ball. The holes don't look big enough. It's a shame, FMS. It's a real shame that they're like that. Use my scalpel. I just put it in the hole and turn it a few times. Not too much. It just cuts a bit of that plastic away so you can get that pushed in like that. So I'm just going to twist it, what, 90 degrees? Like that. And that looks pretty good actually. That looks... that is a little bit down elevator. A fraction, but I might not be able to adjust it. So if I come out half a turn, that's good, that's it. Use these ball link pliers. That goes over this. Oh. Put it on the ball. Right, there's my ball link plier. And squeeze. Lovely. Okay, the rod, just to show you that, here's the rod. The rod will only go so far, then it stops. Okay, and it has gone past my cocktail stick, so it's not the cocktail stick stopping it. There is a natural stop there. This is the female side of the connectors. And all we do, we're going to push that through there. Out the other side. We're going to hold this wing, I don't know what these are, wing strut up, so it goes over the fuselage parts. Work it in, work that in, that's good, work the wing in. That's good. There we are. The strut has got holes through it, and they use these rather funny shaped R-clips. Let's see how easy or difficult it is to put them in place. I think it's a bit difficult. Yeah. Oh, that's it. Oh, this is not fun. This is very hard. Oh, see what happens. Falling from this side. I think I might do this all out. It's just not what I'm supposed to do.
20 minutes later.
And they're funny clips, they don't look good at all. Anyway, that wing's on. Let's put the other wing on.
20 minutes later.
Alright, I've got the struts on. These pins definitely go in better upside down, but I'm just worried that they'll drop out, so I've actually put them in from the top down. A little bit harder, a bit fiddly, but they're in. But you will need to take some pliers with you at the field, I think, because they're not particularly good R-clips. Shame. Now we screw the wings together. And they're screwing into brass. Number one went in a dream. Number two looks as though it might need pushing in a bit. I've just found one of the problems. The strut has to be in when the wing's in, so this is just a pain. I don't think it's well thought out at all. I mean, let me show you. I mean, I'm fumbling around here, but let me show you this. This is the bottom of the plane. You can push that in. Will it stay in? God only knows. Try and push it in from the other side. It's a completely different story. You have to fiddle around, push it, pull it. It just doesn't really want to go that way. Back to the screw, which is literally here in line with the wing. Strut, very, very bad decision. I mean, you can get at it. If they'd moved it, what, a couple of centimetres, moved it a couple of millimetres back, it would have been better. This is quite tight. It is going in well though. Don't want to do it up fully until I've got this one in. This one's much easier. The front one felt a little tight. That's nice and tight. That's nice and tight. So that side went in pretty easily. Let's flip it over and do the other side. There's definitely a gap up here, so I'm starting on the back one. Get that to bite first. That works well. I think we have to apply a bit of pressure. That just isn't nice there. I don't know what's happening. There you go. Yeah, it just wasn't going in properly. That's good. Again, this one is tight already, whereas this back one That's not tight at all. That's good. How durable these will be over long term, I have no idea. I need to take the wings off each and every time I take it to the field and bring it back home. Okay, that's done. Extremely unhappy with these R-clips. The worst thing here. They feel cheap, they look cheap. Anyway, it's built. Let's flip it on its wheels, get rid of this cradle, see what she's like. I have zoomed out as much as my camera can. It does seem much bigger than the Husky. Look at this. There's one wing. Pan around, there's the other wing. And there's the front of the fuselage. Whereas on the Husky, I had to connect into the reflex because I put my own reflex in. This one's already got one, everything's already connected. So all I need to do is connect those into a receiver, which come out of the reflex, and then the flaps go straight into the receiver. I want to do the prop. I haven't even looked at the prop yet. So let's see if we can get that set up. You need the back plate from the original spinner. It has the nut-shaped recess in here that locks into the drive shaft of the motor. So that will go on and lock in, and I'm now turning the motor. I measured that across and it was 2.25, so I then went out and purchased a 2.25 3-blade spinner, which is just opening now. So the first thing to check is that the diameter of this matches the diameter of that, and it does, so that's good. The next thing to do is to get yourself a 3-blade prop. Now the 2-blade prop, 12 by 7.5, so I've ended up with an 11 by 8, so I've gone up 0.5 of a pitch again, and I've dropped an inch. So that will go over there, like that. In fact, it goes over quite well. It's a bit wobbly, if you see that. So what you get, I mean, this is just basic Prop 101. You get these rings, and you just have to get the right ring. That's a nice tight fit on the shaft. And that's this middle one here. See that? It's a nice fit. So I unscrew that, and that's going to go in the back of the prop. Now I can tell you now by feeling this prop it is not balanced. It's got rough edges where it's come out of the mould. It's going to need some work. But first of all we need to pop that in the back. Push fits into this bigger hole on the back of the prop. Needs to go in straight and level or you'll be in trouble. And it's always good to get a plier on it and just squeeze it. So it's flush, there it is. That prop will now go back on the spinner and it won't wobble around. But this is the part that now goes on. It fits great. Wow. I'm impressed. We want our prop nuts. If we get 2 or 3 turns on it, I'm happy. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 turns. And then lock it down. Beautiful. Alright, there we are, 3-blade prop. So there's no battery in it. It's not sitting on its tail, strangely enough. So it might be similar to the Husky in that it's got some sort of neutral almost centre of gravity. Now this is a strange thing because it goes up there and that shuts. Let me try the centre of gravity. Yeah, it's tail heavy, quite a lot. It's tail heavy, but not enough to make it tip on its tail when it's sitting down like that. Definitely tail heavy. So let us see what type of battery we need for this.